Now we will tackle about the language policies and programs in the northern country. So first, we will tackle about the bilingual education in the USA. The USA has a long history of different forms of bilingual education and teaching of language other than English, has received support but also strong opposition. So it introduced here the Bilingual Education Act of 1968, gave an important push to bilingual education programs and policies. So this act is giving emphasizing the bilingual education. They give up importance to this. However, during the 1980s and 1990s, resistance Dutch programs began to grow under the influence of the English-only movement, among others. So in this, during 1980s and 1990s, they gave important to this program in the influence of English-only in being taught in the USA. Next. So, there's a legal changes in 1994 made of the English language part of the assessment of students' progress. So, there is a changes in 1994 that English language is being a part of the assessment program or the assessment of the students' progress, and there's debate happened. So, the debate centered on the one hand on arguments that more time for English exposure leads to better result, and on the other hand, the view that teaching both the home language and English has better outcome. The next one, in the year 2000, No Child Left Behind Act made it mandatory that students designated as having limited English proficiency must attain the same English proficiency as the English-speaking students and also meet the same academic standards in all contexts. So during this act of No Child Left Behind Act is being mandatory that the learners before is they are very limited in speaking English. So now they tackling about the English proficiency. So the students now is being required to English to do an English speaking and also in the academic standard. Progress had to be measured and state-wide standardized tests were required as consequence. Number of bilingual programs decreased strongly and most bilingual English language learners had to follow monolingual programs with the monolingualism in English at school. So in this statement, the bilingual program is being decreased because of the English language learners had to follow the monolingual programs, which is the English as a goal. The next one is the latest update of the Basic Education Law. The Every Student Succeed Act came into the effect in 2016. The new act seems to improve upon some problematic aspect for English learners, or EL, of the NCLB Act or the No Child Left Behind Act because it provides for more flexibility and returns responsibility for assessment to the states and local authorities, although it lacks explicitly provision for dual programs, bilingual education or multilingual enrichment program. Bilingual programs in the USA is that even if they aim at bilingualism and use two languages as the language of instruction, there is a clear hierarchy of languages, and like literacy in English is valued more than literacy in other languages. So in this characteristic of bilingual programs in the USA, even though that they are bilingualism, the language of instruction use they give more importance into the English as their language other than the literacy of the other languages. Canada has a different history of the USA. So bilingual education in Canada is they have a two official language is being used, such as the English and French. This is the official language they use, and French is the majority language in Quebec. Immersion programs developed in Canada in 1960s. These are quite well known as internationally. In these programs, at least 50% of academic instruction is delivered through French or other non-native languages of the participating students during some part of elementary and or secondary school for majority language English-speaking students. So in this program, the 50% of academic instruction must be taught in French in the elementary, while in the secondary education is being taught in the English speaking. Immersion programs are aimed to students with art English as a first language, and students acquire high eh, high levels of competence in French, mainly in receptive skills. Zoom schools aim mainly on French L1 speakers, where English is just a school subject. So there's a medium in school. There's a French medium schools are being taught, but the speaker is being emphasized that the English is being a subject into their school, not just that the English is their language they speaking. So French and along with English is an official language in Canada and thus has a different status when compared to Spanish and other languages in the USA. And there are English medium and French medium in Canadian colleges and universities. Most French medium institutions of higher education are located in Quebec, but there are also some universities and colleges in other provinces. In general, terms it can be said that the language policy in Canada is more bilingual than the language of policy of the USA. Um, in fact, in the Canada, there are provisions for speakers of two languages, both assessment and assess for higher education.